Snow White and the Six Dwarves have assembled, and that can mean only one thing. It's time for the Rocket Raygun Awards.
I hope your prince comes along, Vic.
We are doing something a little bit different this year, partly because we have half the show dedicated to our top 100 countdown, and we're in the top 5 in case you're keeping score at home. But we thought it'd be cool to do a bit of a bracket rundown to our Game of the Year choice, and I think that's the big conversation that we have every year is what is the Game of the Year?
That's all that really matters.
Yes.
And you know, if you're an NCAA basketball fan, that's what we're doing. We're borrowing the same structure from the NCAA tournament.
Yep.
And so if you don't know what the NCAA basketball tournament is,
This is our final four right here. Yeah, exactly.
That's it, exactly.
All right, well, we're starting with Bioshock Infinite going up against The Last of Us. Raju, which one is your choice for Game of the Year out of that?
First off, who did the seeding? Right off the top. I mean, come on, these are two of the best games of the year. If these were separate, they're both going to go really far, but it's like a heavyweight battle right in the first round. Of those two, I love them
You gotta
both.
pick one.
I'll go with Last of Us.
The Last of Us? Marissa, what would you choose?
I'm gonna be with Raju on this one, The Last of Us all the way. Oh God, the story, the relationships. I just want more of that in video games, and that's why I'm choosing The Last of Us. It has to be that.
What about you?
See, I'm a huge Bioshock fan, but I said it at E3 that The Last of Us was the best game that I saw at E3 this year, and it's definitely getting my choice out of those two.
They're gonna kill us.
What other choice do we have?
We jump.
Yeah, I love Bioshock as well, but I'm gonna have to go with The Last of Us just for the atmosphere and the feels, man. Bioshock didn't have that level of feels.
I guess we have our choice right there. We have 4 votes already. I'd choose Last of Us.
My vote doesn't count because apparently the votes being cast. So I'm just going to be contrarian and say Bioshock. No, I mean, Last of Us was I don't like using tour de force, but it was a tour de force.
It was a tour de force.
A gaming story.
You can use it in that context.
Okay. You know what? And actually, I like the multiplayer component. Underrated.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, it's an amazing game.
man.
Last of Us for you.
Apologies to Ken Levine.
I know.
Oh, sorry, Ken.
But no, it's The Last of Us. Moving on to the next round. Next up is Batman Arkham Origins going up against Tomb Raider. I'm choosing Batman. I'm getting that out of the way. And what about yourself, my
What's
friend?
interesting about these two games is Batman has an overbearing HUD. Tomb Raider has almost no HUD. That said, I'm still going to go with Batman.
Sean, what about you?
Considering my chest hair grows in the shape of a bat sun, I'm going with Batman.
We need proof. Let's see it.
Dude, oh, that I even have chest hair?
I want answers.
My chest hair also grows.
Oh!
So I'm going with Batman all the way.
Wow, okay, so
Yeah.
right away we're up to 4 votes again.
I truly am going to dissent on this one because
Yeah.
I thought Arkham Origins was too similar to Arkham City, and I thought Tomb Raider was fantastic. It was an amazing reboot with that character, and I want to see more of Lara Croft. So Tomb Raider is going to be my.
But they've already announced that the next version, the definitive edition, that's going to be the real version of Tomb Raider. I can't wait to play that version.
Me neither, but I think I like Tomb Raider over Batman.
I love both these games, but I'm like you, Vic. More Batman is better Batman.
Yes.
Gotta go with Batman.
Yeah, and I can't believe that there were critics out there that railed on that game. I think it's a masterpiece. Batman
you
Arkham
know what?
Origins is
The villain
incredible.
fights were great. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
lesser known villains,
Yeah.
but I loved it. I had so much fun.
Absolutely.
That's the cool thing. Lesser known villains were not hit over the head with these guys.
I
in every single
love the
game.
whole origin sort of concept. I love the messy Batcave. It was an incredible game.
You can't expect me to believe that Gotham's most eligible bachelor is spending another Christmas alone.
You just ran out of time.
Jose, what would you say?
Well, as much as I did love Batman, I'm giving my vote to Tomb Raider. I thought it was a much better experience, and it came earlier in the year, so a lot of people might have forgot about
It
it.
was a great game. Was a great game, but your votes don't count. Batman moves on to the next round.
Counts in my
All
vote.
right.
Next up on the docket, we've got a Canadian Showdown. We've got Dead Rising 3 from Capcom Vancouver.
That's the Canucks.
We've got Splinter Cell Blacklist. This is the first game from Ubisoft Toronto. Let's
Going
start
up against the Leafs.
with one of our favorite Canadians, Marissa Roberto. Pick one.
Why
You
are
gotta
you
pick
choose
one.
between Vancouver and Toronto? Oh God, this is gonna kill me. Okay, I'm gonna go with Dead Rising 3. Even though I'm kind of over zombies, but this game is awesome. It's awesome. It's so much fun.
All right, at the opposite end of the spectrum is our favorite American, Jose Sanchez. Which one do you pick, sir?
There was a whole lot of Ubisoft teams working on Splinter Cell, and that game that came out was awesome, but there's just something about this new Dead Rising game, new console, new way of killing zombies. When
How
you
many
get to
zombies have you killed so far?
over 100,000, achievement unlocked.
Well
I'm
done,
going with Dead
sir.
Rising 3.
Well done. Back to Canada, we're going to Raju Budar. Raju, you got to weigh in?
I'm really proud of Ubisoft Toronto. First game, great job. But you know what? I gotta go with Dead Rising 3.
Wow.
I think that it's probably the best next-gen game on the Xbox One. I think it's the best game in the series so far, and I really enjoyed it.
Guess what? Tipping point time. Victor Lucas, if you choose Dead Rising 3, sir.
I'm picking Splinter Cell. I love Dead Rising 3, and I think it is one of the strongest of the launch titles for sure, but it's NBA 2K14 that actually is the strongest. But no, I like Splinter Cell a lot, and I think what they did was quite risky, changing the cast, changing some of the mechanics to make it even more action-oriented. He's really become this high-tech James Bond / Batman character, and
Well, that's why.
dropped in another Batman.
New tipping point now. Steve Tilley.
Well, being from Toronto, as are actually the majority of us
I cannot
here,
believe this.
I really love what Ubisoft Toronto did with Sam Fisher, with the franchise. I think this is a great new step. But when it comes down to the actual fun, the game that I went back to again and again, that is Dead Rising 3. I just think that they improved the mechanics of the series. It is definitely the best that they've done, and it is really the only next-gen game that I'm still interested in playing.
This has been the toughest one, I think, for me so far, choosing out of these two.
Hell no!
Sean Hatton, your vote doesn't count at all. But go ahead. We want to hear from you.
I do think that Blacklist is my most enjoyable Splinter Cell experience to date, but that said, Dead Rising 3, I was skeptical of the Xbox One going into the launch, and then when I saw that game, when I got my hands on Dead Rising 3, something in my brain just exploded, and I realized that, wow, this is totally next gen. We could not have had this on the 360.
Yeah, and kudos to Microsoft for publishing that game.
Yeah.
Right? Because who knows if Capcom would have even made that game without them.
I think what it comes down to is I'd rather kill zombies.
Right.
By the hundreds of thousands than actual people.
Right.
Yeah, every day, day in. And so that gets my vote right there. Dead Rising 3 and Capcom Vancouver, congratulations. You're moving on to the next round.
Moving on, we've got two amazing titles that I don't know how we're going to choose between. We have Tearaway and we have Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. This was the year of Luigi, so does that mean we should give it to him, Sean?
I think Luigi did have the better game. I was a big fan of Luigi's Mansion on the GameCube, but I blew through that in a matter of hours in one sitting.
Yeah.
And I felt that Dark Moon had a whole lot more content. I enjoyed the multiplayer aspect of it, even though it was very silly, very goofy, but it was the spirit of Luigi and Luigi's Mansion, and I have to give it to these guys. Next Level Games did a great job.
What about you, Jose?
Well, Tearaway, another beautiful game. But, I mean, it is the year of Luigi for a reason. It's about time he got his calling, and I'm going to give it to Dark Moon.
Oh, really? Okay, great, fine. Scott, how are you?
I think Luigi had a very good year after all. I mean, I think they got off to a good start with Luigi's Mansion. I actually wound up playing more and more of that game and falling in love with it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I mean, hats off to Media Molecule. They did it again, so charming. It's kind of a slow burn, takes a little while to get going, but Tearaway all the way.
It looks like you're going to get on just fine.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm all about Tearaway. It's so freaking cute, man. What about you, Raju?
Well, you know, Busted makes me feel good, but I have to say Tearaway.
Yeah.
I mean, Tearaway, absolutely.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like a tech demo, but, you know, I love the fact my face is in it. They actually use the rear touch panel in a decent way, so...
Oh, I had a double check. Thank you.
Tearaway for me.
Okay, so 2 for Luigi, 3 for Tearaway. Vic?
I'm going to give it to Tearaway as well, but both of these games are very toy-like. They're much more than just video game stories. You actually feel like you're manipulating actual little toy characters. You know, the worlds are so well realized in both of these games. Incredible portable titles, and they really both deserve to be sequelized and brought to the console.
And in this category.
Yes.
And in this category, this is another hard one.
Deserve it, but only one can be the winner. And we already know it's Tearaway, but it's fine. We'll throw to Steve Tilley anyway. What are you gonna
I
say?
thought I had the deciding vote here. I was really excited. I do. Luigi's Mansion is awesome. I really love what Next Level did. Those guys are so talented, and even though it's the year of Luigi, I mean, the guy's used to playing second fiddle, right? So I don't feel bad about passing away from Luigi. Is that right, man? I am tearing it out of Luigi's grasp. Tearaway was the first game that justified some of these features on the Vita.
Now, shut my face, will you?
Well, the other thing to consider about Tearaway is that it really is the killer app for the platform, and the 3DS has had a bounty of great killer apps this year. You know?
The other thing I want to point out here is this is the first time when we've talked about the game of the year that we've also talked about portable games as being on par with something like Arkham and Last of Us. I mean,
100%.
portable games really grew, and you know they have multiplayer and single player experiences. So congratulations to Media Molecule and Next Level.
Yeah, and we're going to have a lot more to talk about as our bracket continues throughout the week. But right now, we got to take a little break. We'll be right back with Reviews on the Run. The Rocket and Raygun Award for Best Driving Game goes to Need for Speed Rivals.
Contact me.
This race is over, dispatch.